Wow, that was an intense first session. Bina got right up in a noble's business and just said it like it was, and it worked, which is the first time that that's ever happened for her. So, and the dice are on fire for me tonight. So, we'll see how I keep this up. But last we left off, Bina talked the Duchess Botond into allowing her to go uh, on the mission or on the now my word just slipped my mind. The emissary that are going to go talk to the elves. So
Cool.
yeah, that's exciting. Jed, you pointed out that I should change the belief, which is totally true. Let's look at that. Let's pull that belief up because it doesn't. It really was hinging on a different expectation altogether, which was that we were going to try and leave. Pap won't abandon his post because of his duty, but he made for love. I'll get Varus to aid me in moving him. Yeah, I don't think that's applicable at all. Let me ask you, and sorry that I want to suss this out a little bit before I write it down, but I just kind of want to judge. Like, let me ask you, like, in the scheme of things, Varus was an interesting character to me because she was the one who knew the soldier's lament, and she was the one who kind of inspired Bina in a way to go try all this stuff.
Nice.
Do you see her as that kind of character? Do you see her as a character who could be important in this sort of scheme of things?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you want to make a belief about her, let's do it.
I think so.
She'll be important.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, my inclination, because I think I had this belief a little bit ago, was to ask, or I was thinking I was angling this way, was to ask her to teach me how to sing because she is so good at it, and I know that that's what the elves want. In fact, maybe I'm going to ask her to help me, like come with me. I don't know that would turn into a whole nother fiasco, but
right. I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so Varus has a voice that may sway the elves. Do I want to say have her teach me, or do I want to say have her come with me?
How many more? Let's think about how many more singing tests do you need?
All of them. I've gotten one. So no, I've gotten two. I've got two because I got one from practice and one from. I got one from practice and I got one from failing. So I need 4 more, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get her to come with me. That seems safe. I'll bring her with me to win over. Yeah, I'll bring her with me on the envoy.
Cool.
I think that's pretty fair. Yeah. So if I can retcon a little bit, I'm gonna say, like, as I was doing this, I'm like, it's very important that you make a good impression. I'm gonna need you. We're all gonna need you. Take Pap out of your mind for a moment if you can, and just be as honest with her as like.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah. So. So I feel like there's maybe like a downbeat here as the envoy isn't going to go out immediately. Like they're not gonna. It's not gonna be right now. So if Bina doesn't have anything pressing, I'm gonna try and see if I can make a patch to where, so that when I go on this mission, I don't have this big ugly bandage still on my face. Is there anything else that's like demanding her attention?
I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna force you to bust out the names list because I think I want to find uh, probably not a tanner or or a leather worker or somebody that
Yeah.
and I imagine I would know. We haven't described them, but like that feels like a pretty common occupation.
Yep. I think this is
Something
going to
like
be an
that.
odd one. This is an odd one.
Okay, circles.
Yep.
All right, let's do it. No.
Failed.
Well, had to happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Is it no dice or are you invoking the enmity clause?
I'm going to vote the enmity clause.
Cool. For anyone's wondering, if you fail a circles roll, the GM can say, "Yep, you don't find the person," or they can say, "You find them, but they've got some beef
yeah.
with you. There's some
Yeah. I also,
problem."
the Lando Calrissian clause, I also call it.
Yes,
Uh,
exactly. Yeah, you found Lando, but Vader
yeah, you
found you
found Lando,
first.
but oh, the Empire got there first. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Uh, cool. I think the tanner is named Archibald, and I think
Okay.
he's uh I think it's your husband's brother.
Oh,
He's like an older
yeah.
brother.
Would I call him Archie?
Sure.
Um, Archibald. Okay. And do we have a bad relationship, or am I just going to find out
Yeah,
what's?
I think you never like he's I think he's a pretty sour person.
Yeah.
I think like your husband's Deke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you're like Deke barely gets along with him, but like he's just yeah, I think he's just a pretty sour person, but you should be able to go to his house and like get a piece of leather for this eye you've lost, like
Yeah.
it's he's not so sour that shouldn't be a thing.
All right. Well, I am going to butter him up, as is my way, and I'm going to bring Nara with me because
Cool.
who can resist their favorite niece?
Right.
And um, whatever bit of warm thing I can pull out of the kitchens before I leave the tower.
Cool. Yeah. And I think
So,
Archie's wife died like the year Nara was born.
okay.
And shit, maybe Nara was even named after her.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was like
Yeah.
it was really close. Like it was like the same year. Uh
Yeah.
and I think you're right. Like Archibald uh has always had a thing for he's always loved his niece. Absolutely.
Awesome.
He was very touched that his wife's name went to your daughter. I thought that was really great.
Cool. Yeah, I love that. Um, that sounds that sounds perfect. Um, so yeah, I think I show up. Tanneries smell terrible.
Yeah.
They are some of the worst smelling things, I think. So I walk up and I kind of like, I think Nara and I do that like, ew, like face to each other, right? Like sort of like
Right.
a joking thing, like we're gonna go visit Uncle Archie
Yeah.
and it's gonna stink.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, and so and she comes in and I think she's wearing her boots. I think, like kind of you can't see the expression on someone's face when they stretch out their toes, but like she has this moment of like stretching out her toes inside these boots,
Yeah.
and just like like, oh god, they're so comfortable, and like running through the keep barefoot was fine because it was mostly wooden planks, but running through the road with all the rocks and things like that in the road really sucks. And so just
Yeah.
like being able to do that and not have it hurt or have to go really slow and dodge around things is great. So yeah, so she comes to the tannery and is sort of calls in Archie.
Yeah. I think Archie has an old dog. Um Leather. And he gives Nara a big hug, and she gives him a hug, and he says, "Do you want to go inside and see Leather? He'd love to see you." She says, "Yes," and he says, "Don't pull his tail." And she runs in, and yeah, I think Leather is like this big retired shepherd dog that like some, he can't round up the sheep anymore. His hips are getting
Right.
old, and yeah, he Archie looks after him. They kind of look after each other.
Yeah.
And I think he turns to you, and like you can feel the rancor. What do you need?
I brought you some lunch from the kitchens. Figured you were
Oh,
hungry.
well, thank you.
And she like undoes this little basket, undoes this little thing, and she says, I is everything okay?
And I think he like looks in to make sure that Nara is like busy.
Distracted, yeah.
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 And he says things are fine. How's Voss? I heard he left town in a hurry when you got back. How was your journey, by the way? Haven't even heard about it. The one where you left my niece and my brother for a month with some strange man.
Yeah. I think there's a part of her like wants to be bitter and like kind of sarcastic because he's obviously being sarcastic with her.
Yeah.
But she sort of bites that back. She has an instinct. It doesn't apply here, but it's pretty close, which is when faced with a raw love or I answer them honestly rather than with soothing platitudes. And I feel like that applies here in some way because Archibald is speaking on behalf of Deke and on behalf of Nara.
And I think what I like about this, and it's not like I think you and Deke are kind of working it out.
Yeah.
And Deke was kind of a man about it and mature, like a grown up. Whereas Archie's being a dick. And so I think he's just so anyway, what's your
so I look and I'm like and I think I kind of do the same kind of check that Nara is out of earshot as well. And I said, it was a failure, if you must know. We didn't convince the dwarves to turn around. They're still coming. They're still marching south. I did learn of their army, which may decimate all of us. But I wasn't able to stop them. I did learn, however, I think she lets it sit on that kind of negative note for a moment. Like, yeah, you're right. It sucked. It was bad. And then after a pause, she's like, I did, however, find out why this war is happening and gain an inkling as to how it might be stopped.
Ah, well then. You should definitely do that.
You say that like you want this door to come to your doorstep. This war.
No, I don't want this war to come to my doorstep. I just doubt that you can stop the war. And I doubt that you left because of the war. I think you've always wanted to run away from this place and you found your chance and you took it. And my brother is just too kind-hearted to say what everyone in town is thinking.
If that was the case, why would I have come back?
Because living with a huntsman out on the road, a former bandit, probably wasn't the romance that you thought it was going to be, was it, being a Janos? Or
Just
you went
before,
back to whatever town you were dragged out of by your hair, and there's just nothing left of it, is there?
we named it last time. I don't
We
remember.
did. Shit, I've got it here somewhere.
Yeah. Tobin Torin, no.
Bolnar.
Bolnar. I didn't get a chance to go back to Bolnar. I was hoping I would on the way.
Ah, well,
It would have been nice to see my family, who I haven't seen in 10 years almost. Because I was dragged out of there by the hair.
yes. Well, you've certainly gotten your revenge.
On who? Who do you think I got my revenge on?
You're making my brother look
Bodnar's
like
dead.
you're making my brother look like an idiot. He married you and made you a part of this village, made you a part of Karakage.
And everything I've been doing has been to stop this village from being decimated. That I am part of. I
How
didn't.
dare you call running off with some huntsman? You've concocted. I bet in your heart of hearts you even believe this lie. That's what's sad.
I need a favor from you, Archie. I'm going
What's
to go
that?
speak with the Elvish delegation. I'm being sent by the Duchess as part of our emissary to speak with the Elves about why they shouldn't go to war with us or why they shouldn't go to war. And I don't want to go there looking like a maimed animal.
Cool. Make a persuasion roll. I think it's ob 3.
Yeah. Wow. That's totally perfect. I think I was thinking like I'm gonna win him over, and then I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna win this guy over. He's gonna loathe me for his reasons, and I'm just gonna have to live with that.
He's a jerk.
So yeah, he's a jerk. All right. I'm gonna make a persuasion roll. I'd like to fork in work-wise because I think I
Yes,
can.
because it's work. Yeah.
Because it's work, and like I know that it's not a lot. I know that it's to make a patch would be nothing huge. And oh dang, I can use this. I'm gonna fork in wife-wise, as I'm gonna
Nice.
tell him
What's
your
up?
brother and I are working things out. And I'll tell you right now, if you want to support him, you'll support all of us. Me, him, Nara, all of us.
Cool.
Wife-wise, coming at you. Okay, that's all I'm doing. It's B3. I think I'm gonna do this carefully, and by that I mean like I'm gonna spend the time to oversee him and to
I think you already kind of have, right? You
yeah.
grabbed lunch, you got Nara.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
carefulness has already been shown.
Cool. Okay. All right, modifiers. I've got 2 dice from Forks. No, cancel. I've got 3 dice because I'm careful. 3. Nope. Come on. Yes!
Oh my God. Bina Janos cannot lose tonight.
Bina Janos is on fire.
Side note: Sean's a cheater, but yeah, Bina
Yep.
Janos can't lose.
Yeah. Sean all the funny rolls.
I mean, I feel like the first couple of sessions of this are clear knowledge that
yes,
Sean
the first 5 sessions of this game, or 6 even, I think, were just like fail.
Yeah.
Well,
it's cool to see.
But it's really, it's the way the game works. It's you beginner's luck things, and you fall on your face, you fall on your face, you fall on your face, you finally train it, and then you start, you know.
Yeah, stringing together successes. That's awesome.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think he gives you like a leather scrap that'll work, and he says, tomorrow morning I'll drop off something a little nicer. Which I think is like, it's like as close to an I'm sorry as you're ever going to get from this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know, thank God, these rolls are wild. I say thank you. I thank him, and I say, why don't you let me and Nara take Leather on a walk, so he gets, he gets a little walk around town.
Sure.
So you don't have to distract him from work, and I think I'll call Nara and I say, Nara, bring Leather. Let's walk him around, and we'll take him on a. And I'm sure an old dog like this doesn't need to be walked much, but well, he still needs to get out.
Yeah, totally. He loves it.
Yeah,
he loves it.
Yeah. Good dogs. Yeah. I think I can imagine so I had a talk with your brother. Talk that night. I don't. I'm okay to just sort of narrate over that, unless you think that that's a deep.
No, I think it's worth. He says, "Oh, how'd that go then?"
He was really happy to see Nara. Leather is still acts like a puppy, even though he's an old dog. And he told me what he thought of things.
Archie was pretty upset when you left.
I really can't blame him. I think it was the right thing to do, but that doesn't mean it wasn't a hurtful thing to do.
If anything, it's a sign of how much he cares. He didn't want to see me go through what he went through with old Nara.
Yeah.
And I think he'd never admit this in 1,000 years, but your family, and he cares for you, and he felt like he was going through losing his Nara all over again. So he thought you weren't coming back. I mean, so did I. But he was upset. I mean, we were both upset, but the way we show it is very different.
Yeah. I'm glad I married this brother.
Yes.
He's going to give me a patch for this mess of a face.
Well, I think he gave you like something.
Oh, right. Yeah,
like,
you're right.
Yeah. So yeah, he gave you something, but he said like, I'll make a nicer one that fits. But I think like he took like some measurements of your head.
Right.
And
it feels like a temporary driver's license. It's like, yeah. So I reassure Deke that this is just the temporary one until he drops off something nicer. And I think that's when she has to drop the bomb of I think she just says, I spoke with the Duchess and she's going to send me.
Yeah. What was that like? It's all around town that they're there.
oddly candid, much more so than Bodnar ever was with me. She seemed to treat me kind of like she respected me,
Hmm.
which was nice. I was a little suspicious, but she seemed genuine. And honestly, she convinced me that staying here makes more sense than fleeing, which I didn't think anyone would.
Wow.
But she thought that if we lose Karakagi, it's not just a few buildings, it's our place in the world. That Karakagi is the hub of so many things, and we can't abandon it.
Huh.
I know
That's
I
how she
was
convinced you. If I had known that talking of the burning wheel was going to, if I known that religion was going to sway you, I would have gone to religion and not community.
I don't think, had I not gone on this journey and not seen the fires of the actual burning wheel itself with my own eyes,
Hmm.
that would have held such a sway on me.
That's interesting.
Also, I think our daughter might be an archmage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Our daughter, the Archmage, got shit on the doorstep today. So
Oh
tell her to
no.
magic. Could you tell her to magic it away, please?
Sure. Yeah, yeah. I'll tell her to cast a spell. Um. Yeah, and I, as we're like we're tucking into bed, I'm like, so do I know when the emissaries are going out? Is it
No, it probably won't be for a little bit.
okay?
And I
And
think
I
like Deke talks to you about going on patrol because he's going on like the peasant levy patrols,
yeah,
and they're bolstered by knights now, and and uh yeah, they're just a little bit more confident. They brought you know new gear and cleaner, more clearly labeled tabards
right.
and helms, and everybody's feeling a lot better, and boots, and everybody's feeling a lot better about it. And he says the knights are they're smart. They don't have unrealistic expectations, I don't think, and they don't have romantic notions of war. These are men and women who fought in the ducal feuds, uh, and I think like as he says that he gets uncomfortable because the ducal feuds are where you were grabbed,
Yeah,
and he says they know their craft the way I know how to make wheels. And the Duchess's priest came and gave a blessing over us as we went out on our. Speaking of the wheel,
oh, I didn't know we had a priest in town. We'll have to pay him a visit. Um, and she, yeah, I think I was gonna tell her about going on the embassy, being part of the embassy, but I'll do it later. We got a couple days,
okay,
right? Like I don't.
yeah,
She
yeah,
like doesn't
yeah,
want to like sour this nice conversation that they've
yeah,
had, right?
yeah, yes,
Um,
yes,
I'd be like, I'm going away again.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've yes, having
Yeah,
done that, I dig it.
yeah.
I dig
So,
it.
and honestly, there's a part of her that's like when he says like the knights know what they're doing, like I know how to take a wheel. She's like, there's a part of her that's like, um, uh, there's a part of her that's like, yeah, if they know what they're doing, maybe you could stop, right? Like you should do what you know,
Right.
and not go out and risk your life out there. But it's just too hypocritical. She just
Yeah.
can't bring herself to say like, well,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
goodness now you can go back doing your work, because it's just,
Hmm.
yeah. So, yep, she just has to sit with that. Um, and cool. I think I think I'm in for some etiquette training.
Cool. Yeah, I think that morning you get to the Karakage Tower before dawn.
Yep,
And
early
old
riser.
Novak old Novak has like the ovens lit and has breakfast going. And
I think the distinction is that I don't live there, and I think she does.
yeah,
I think old
totally.
Novak is right. I think after
Yeah.
her, her partner passed, like there just wasn't like having a place away from the tower.
Yeah. And I think old Novak says, I heard you spoke to the Duchess yesterday.
She wanted to know what I learned. She also
So
wanted to
did you
speak with
so
Horace.
did you throw cider at her? Did she throw cider at you? How was the cider spilled? Like
Gossip in these
Old
halls.
Novak is a straight up gossip. Like she learned her gossip. I think like you learned your gossip wise and your
Soothing
soothing
platitudes.
platitudes from old Novak. Like
Yeah.
that's
Oh
totally where
yeah.
you got
Absolutely. And I mean, like, I just lean into it. I know she loves this shit. I'm like, I
it.
threw it at her.
Say that again. I lost you for a second.
I kind of lean in surreptitiously, conspiratorially, and I said, I threw it at her.
She like hits you with a rag. Like you did not. You big liar.
Look, she sounded very interested in the fate of Karakage. Really said something that struck home to me, and treated me with the kind of respect I've never seen from a noble. And then just dismissed my suggestion, which is really important if I do say so. And I got broth. I spilled my cider. And she agreed. Although, don't say anything about that, which is hilarious. She's a gossip, so no, she's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
to.
yeah, yeah. She says, "Well, you missed a lot. Uh, um, turns out the Duchess had her Grace, she says, had a talk with Varus and told her that her and Paps were over.
Oof. How did Varus take that?
She did not take it well, but uh, later that evening, the Duchess paid a visit to the smith under the guise of saying that uh, they wanted to check to see if they could reshoe their horses before the ride back and to make sure that they get their armor uh, fixed if they needed it. And
Mm-hmm.
well, let's just say that she made it so that Varus won't be around the tower very much for a while.
You lost me.
The Duchess told her father that she was yes,
Uh, uh, broken rims.
yes.
So Varus is now. Oh, I need her. Hmm. Okay, thank you. That's good to know. Um,
And there's also rumors that Pap is going to be knighted soon
well, that's
for
good.
keeping everything going, and that they're going to marry him to someone, and then he's going to have to take over the Karakage.
What noble is within a stone's throw for them to marry him to? Maybe the Duchess brought somebody with her in her retinue.
Nobody knows.
How much do those two? How much do the? I mean, they didn't know each other from Adam, or they didn't know each other at all I left and I come back and they're madly in love. How much are those two? Is her heart broken? Maybe, who knows? Let's go see.
Varys
Well,
definitely had unrealistic designs on being the Lady of Karakarge. Or that, even better, that Pop would bring her back to Dukensheld and lavish her with luxuries in the capital. She had girlish fancies.
but did she actually care about him? I mean, did she just want the nice thing supposed to have? They're not that nice. I tell you, I've cleaned Lord's boots. Or did they care about one another?
Oh, and one of the knights, and she's about to like drop some other piece of gossip.
Yeah, that's fine. She can just skip out.
Yeah, and an older man kind of clears his throat at the kitchen door, and yeah, it's like an old man who like maybe was big and muscular once, but he's kind of gone a little bit soft, and she says, "Father Alvaro," she kind of curtsies, and he says, "No need. I'm just a humble priest of the wheel. I was just hoping I could get a little bit of coffee before everyone woke up." She says, "You're up early." He says, I wake up before dawn. It's an old soldier's reflex."
Servants too, and I start pouring him some coffee.
Yeah. He takes it and like goes, like he knows where things are. He apparently has been here before, and like, you know, mixes his own spice in, and maybe like a little cinnamon stick or something, and says, "So you are the famous Bina Janos who traveled north."
My reputation. I think you misspoke. I think you mean the foolish Bina Janos.
You saw the light of the wheel, didn't you?
I did. I couldn't believe. I didn't know. I mean, forgive my ignorance, but I always thought the wheel was a metaphor. I always thought it was an ideal. Apparently, there's archmages gone and taken it and brought it down from the mountain.
I think he like makes the sign of the wheel as you mentioned that, and he says, "The best pieces of religion are both, I find."
Well, I want to believe that it's kept me safe. The dwarves.
Oh no, the wheel does not keep you safe. The wheel burns you. The wheel changes you. It's fire and magic and sorcery. It burns away your weak beliefs and leaves only the strong.
Explains why the Prince Bulat was so implacable. Protector of the whole, guardian of the wheel, student of the.
To live in the wheel, in the shadows that the wheel cast, must make you consider what you believe very carefully. And you must have beliefs that are very strong to have left and come back.
I feel like a broken wheel myself, repeating this so many times. But this war that is on the horizon is pointless. Isn't the right word. There's a point, but it's a bad one. It's unnecessary. It's foolish, and it could be prevented, and it may still be able to be prevented.
Or we could think of it as fading back and remembering that the wheel is also a metaphor, that the war is the fire that is burning us and leaving only what is strong remains. Not that war is good, not that war changes us for the better. War changes us implacably for the worse. But this chaos, let's say. It could be something that changes us, inspires growth, something we have to deal with. I hear you'll be coming with us when we go talk to the Etharch. And I think like
Yes.
Novak like drops a pot when he's like she did not know that. Like she literally like drops the oatmeal on the floor. And she like picks it up quickly and says like, oh well, you know, most of it didn't touch. And Alvaro says it'll be our secret.
Yeah, I look at her with kind of like an apologetic look, like I meant to get there, like I was gonna tell you, but then you know the knights and the da-da-da, and I say I will, and I'm sure I'm overstepping my bounds here, but I feel that I need to bring someone else with us.
Who's that?
There's a young woman I mean, Bina's 25, so it's not like she can call. I mean, I think Boris is maybe late teens, early 20s. Like they're not that much different in age, but there's a young woman in the town who has the most beautiful voice that I've ever heard. Well, the second most beautiful voice that I've ever heard. And she shivers.
Yeah, yeah.
And if I know anything about the elves, when asked to present, when asked to make my claim, I will refer to a song that they will once sung. And I would like only the best of us to sing to them, that we might impress upon them the importance of it.
The elves do like a song.
Father, do you think you could help me in bringing Boris along with us? And I'm sure old Novak hears me say Boris, like, you know, like I'm sure she has to like catch it so she doesn't drop the pot again because she just told me all this stuff.
I'll see what I can tell you what. I'll see what I can do, but you should they wouldn't do confession, right? But they would do like something. I feel like a priest of the wheel would do something where you sit and literally talk about what you believe and how it might change.
Yeah. Or even beliefs that you've had and how they've changed in the past, like how you've come.
He says, like, would you walk the rim? Sit at the hub?
I think walking the perimeter of the town makes sense. Seems like a thing you could do with get some privacy and
yeah, he says it seems the rain has lightened a bit. Would you walk the walls with me?
Yes. Yeah, I have to meet with the I've never had a schedule before. I have to meet, but but we still have time. It's early, thankfully. But we're both early risers.
Cool.
Yeah, I think she'll totally happily walk with him.
Yeah.
What kind of guy is this dude? Like
Father Alvaro is older, probably like a couple years older than the Duchess. I think you can tell by the scars on his hand that he was probably a knight of some kind. And he's retired into the priesthood.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, Bina's a pretty religious person. Religion is was part of her upbringing, um, and God, how did I figure it again? It starts with B. Where I should write. What's do you have her home's name?
Her what name?
Her home's name?
Bulnar?
Bulnar.
Bulnar. Yep.
I came up with it. Yeah, I think it was part of her upbringing in Bulnar, and I think it's been part of her life here in Karakagi. But like in a not overly ceremonious way. Like the wheel was just part of tradition and belief, but she didn't like go to sermons or anything like that. It was just like a family communal religion rather than something that was really official. So I don't think she spent a lot of time with like, official priests. Like her
Right.
experience with religion is through family. So she's like, I've never done this officially. I'm just sort of talked with my grandfather, and since I've been here, I haven't really had anyone. Since I've been in Karakagi, I haven't really had anyone to walk the rim with. So yeah, so I think she's a little unsure what to say.
Yeah, I think he says, he says there are. I like that in our religion, the talk you have with your priest is done while walking. I think that's important. You walk in a circle, so it has to end, and I think walking is good for the mind. And I think he has a cloak, and he like grabs an extra one for you, and they're like really fine. Like you've never seen cloaks like this, and it was like the whole retinue's traveling cloaks. And he says, "Why don't you wear this while we walk?" And like it's the type of stuff where like water just beads up and goes off of it. Like it's just like not getting wet.
It's freaking magic.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it's got an oil, an oil layer. And he says, Bina, what was it about what you believed that led you to go north? And what brought you back?
Card asked a really good question, which I want to ask out of character. Is part of the difference between this versus a confession that it's two ways instead of just So
very often, yeah.
So I'm going to answer him, but like the expectation is that he will, also tell me a little about what he's doing.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So this young woman I spoke of, Varis, she's saying when we learned the elves were coming, she sang a song that I've heard all throughout my childhood. I'm sure you know the Soldier's Lament, and many people have told me over and over that it's a story about a doomed hero who goes off to stop the war and fails and dies. And I think it's a story of hope about people seeing when something is wrong and doing something to change it and risking peril if that's what's needed to forestall a disaster. And it seems like I was wrong. Seems like it is a doomed cause. I talked to the dwarves, and I felt like I was just one step away from convincing them to return the star to the elves and to beseech the elves to understand that they had also lost one of their own. Um, to convince Prince Bulat that his brother Chavka would want to be remembered as, you know, that his brother Chavka is missing him, he's grieving, is no reason that that grief shouldn't turn. Doesn't serve his brother's memory by turning it to hatred. But he had a warden who's never going to have stories told about him if he doesn't go to war. And he had an engineer who has had a lot of time to build walls and nothing coming tearing them down. And a lot of people who think that there's probably money to be made and fame to be gained. And they take the elves' superiority personally. So there's lots of reasons why my beliefs didn't win over in the end.
So I'm hearing you talk about how your beliefs didn't change others' beliefs, but how did that journey change you?
I thought if I just came and I thought other people would see things the way I did if I just explained it to them. And I realized that I need to do more than just explain to them. And I think as she's saying this, as she's like having this like epiphany, she's like, oh shit, that's exactly what I'm planning to do, the exact same thing when I speak with Ethark, and it's gonna fail for the exact same reason. I think like in this moment, she's just like, I need more than just high-minded ideals. I need something that motivates them. And shit, I have nothing.
Right.
Oh, she just looks at him and she's like, Father Amaro, I'm doomed. I mean, she kind of gets, she like gets like off. She sort of breaks the format of like, well, tell me what you're thinking. Like, she just turns to him like genuinely like, the Prince Bulat seemed to respect the journey that I had made. And because of that, he gave me an audience. I don't know if the elves will care. And they have to give us an audience because, you know, the Duchess is sending all of us, but they can disregard me and all of us. How do I find out what an elf really wants or needs so that we can find another solution to this? And she's kind of just like talking rhetorically. She's not even like looking to him. She's just kind of like wondering at this. And she's like, I think I need to find out more about what's going on with them to see if there's any way to convince them to stop, to retreat.
When you have to cook a big dinner, a big dinner at the tower, do you do it alone?
No, there's people to clean the food, prepare it, chop it, cook it.
Is cooking a dinner at the tower more or less complicated than leading a delegation to the elder folk who sang the stars into existence? I think he has like an amused look on his face.
Yeah, she's like, well, since I haven't done that before, I can't make a comparison. Sorry, Laura.
I think we both know that it is more complicated. And I'm fascinated when you talk about what you believe, you're very often talking about what you have to do and what only you can do. And you're not very much thinking about the beliefs of others, which is very important to consider, and how others can help you achieve those goals. I think I don't like the school of rhetorical religious thought that says that beliefs are about tasks and only getting things done. I think the burning wheel burns philosophies into us too, and that's important. But if there's something that epic that you have to get done, I mean, we're kind of seeing it in that you wish to bring Varus. I think that's interesting, but I don't know. I would look around, uh, see what you can learn from the people around you, and don't feel that this fire is touching you alone. Is my priestly advice as we walk the rim.
I think she's listening and she's having a hard time because up until now, most people that she said we shouldn't be going to war have just been like either ignored her and said like it's not going to happen or it's not going to be that bad, or they're just like, well, it's inevitable. It doesn't seem like anyone else has really wanted to stop it. And so she's looking at him, just like, how well do you know the Duchess?
I served in the Holy Order, in the Holy Knightly Order with her brother. And like he makes a sign of the wheel that lets you know that like her brother is dead. And
I think I mirror it, you know, in that way that like, you know,
yeah,
when everyone kind of crosses themselves.
Right?
Yep. I don't imagine she would send me on this delegation if what she was hoping for was glory and death and stories to be told of her dying in a glorious battle with the elves.
I can assure you that Duchess Varga Clandia Botand has no ambitions to die gloriously anywhere. She came here because this Karakage has been among her family's holdings for generations, and it is an important one, both for spiritual and more earthly reasons.
And I think this is like we're getting close to the end and of the circle, and of the perimeter, and I say, she's tasked me to learn etiquette, which the number of things I don't know about dealing with people this important could fill up libraries, I assume, if I knew how to read. I'm going to run and do that. Thank you for this time, Father.
Thank you.
I was going to ask how your beliefs have changed, but maybe we'll save that for another walk.
That sounds good. And I think like he gently like takes the cloak off, and like folds it over his arm so that like he can return it.
Nice.
You know, but like in like not in a creepy way, in like an uncle grandfatherly way. Like he's not weird about it.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine that if he reaches for it, my like normal response would be like to start pulling it off anyway, so he's not like pulling it off me.
I realized that could sound creepy, but it was not.
Yeah, no,
I
appreciate
hey, I've got to return that. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, let's do your discussion, your thing with Elsie, and then we'll kind of touch back base and see where we're at.
That sounds great. Yeah, we're getting close.
Yeah, I think Elsie, the Duchess sits at like one side of the feast hall with her retinue and her knights, and you and Elsie sit on the other side, and Elsie kind of goes over, like you guys have like bowls of oatmeal and some bacon, And yeah, Elsie starts like going through basic etiquette stuff with you.
Hmm.
And like basic bowing, bowing to a knight, bowing to bowing to a lord. I mean, she starts like just getting like really specific.
Right.
So that like if you have to bow to like a lord and his knight and then like his bastard son, you can like do it,
Right, right, right,
and
right. It's like
uh,
fan etiquette or anything like that. That there's like all
yeah,
these little nuances of this is how you do it, except for here are the 9,000 exceptions. Like here's the one where you
right,
bow, and then a million exceptions to it. Yeah.
yes.
Cool. Yeah. Do you want to make an instructor test for her? See if
I
I.
did, yeah. She got 3 successes.
Oh wow, nice. I think the ob is.
I think it's one, right?
I think it's one because she's just trying to give me a routine test,
Yep.
and it goes up
So
if it's like a martial skill, but social skills I don't think it goes up on.
yeah, and I think Elsie's like 16 years old.
Okay.
And yeah, I think she's a really good teacher. She says like I had 14 siblings and I had to teach them all this nonsense. And you know, and yeah, she's clearly done this before. Like
Okay.
you're the 15th person she's had to teach this shit to.
Right.
And
But
and
I'm the oldest and not her family, so yeah.
yes, I think she finds it very easy to teach you. And and she's kind of like, I think she starts off talking to you like an older sister, but like she once she realizes that you're taking this seriously, she eases up a bit.
Yeah.
Um, and 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 says, "What has it been like living in Karakage before the war? I mean,
Boring. Um, it was. I mean, I came here 8 years ago, 9 years ago. I came here when I was your age,
hmm what
and
do you have much communication with Tovanar Torin or any of
I
the Iron
met
Dukes?"
I met Lady Simone and Lady Spenger on my travels, and
I think she like smiles mischievously and says, "Your famous travels." Hmm?
why does everyone think that they're such a big deal?
It's it sets you apart from the others in Karakage. Most people who've grown up here have never left. Maybe some of them served with the peasant levies during the ducal feuds, but most did not. It
I
sets you
mean, I
apart.
think I think Fina's a little embarrassed by this at this point. Like when Prince Bulat was like, "Wow, look what this shoeless peasant has done." Like she was honored and maybe embarrassed too. But now, like the people
Yeah.
keep saying it. It's yeah. It's a little embarrassing. And she's trying not to like blush.
Miss
And
Janos, may I ask you a question? I heard a rumor and I wanted to ask.
absolutely.
I heard that you went north and you left with a man, a huntsman, who is rather dashing, who is not your husband. Is that true?
His name is Voss.
How did that go? I think she like she's she says, "How did that go?" Which is definitely like a, you can fill that in with as much or as little as you are willing to.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I know her quite well enough. I mean, it seems like we've obviously like warmed up to one another, but I don't particularly want to I don't want to uh I don't know. I don't want to start gossiping immediately, and I also don't want to say things that are going to hurt Deke if they come back
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
And so I say it was really hard.
Hmm.
Traveling on the road is miserable and cold, and he is a very quiet person who has a hard time talking about anything. He's very used to being alone.
Hmm.
And I think I found out a little bit of why he's so cut off from everyone. But I'm still a long way away from making him feel like he can ever be loved. Or he's still a long ways away from feeling like he can ever be loved. So I don't think I really answered her like
Yeah.
how was sexy times, because I don't really
Yeah.
think
No,
there
I don't think she
was.
was expecting that. I don't think she was
Yeah,
expecting that.
yeah. But it's an honest answer. I'm just not
Yeah. Yeah.
focusing on that part.
Yeah. She appreciates it.
I don't recommend it. If someone says, "Would you like to go on a cart with a hunter?"
I'll keep that in mind if it ever comes up.
Uh,
What do you do for fun around here when the elder species are not warring? That is.
uh, the um, the old keep makes for a miserable defense, but it makes for a lovely picnic and place to dance. The acoustics are particularly good if someone sets up at the. I think there's enough of the old keep left that there's just like kind of
Yeah.
a C shape,
Yeah.
and you can kind of
Totally.
sit in it and like play.
Yeah.
Um, the fields grow lush, and if someone brings an instrument, the music carries all down the hill.
Hmm.
Um,
You make it sound kind of nice.
it was kind of nice. It still can be.
And I think like she's about to ask you. She says, "So Squire Pap," and then the Duchess yells out across the feast hall, "Elsie, yes, Your Grace. Where is your sword? It's by the chair that I would have been sitting at if I were eating with all of you. Is that a good place for it? If there was an attack, would you be able to defend yourself?" And I think like she looks at you like, but like the Duchess can't see. She kind of like rolls her eyes and she says, "No, Your Grace, I would not be able to defend myself." She was like, "Make yourself able to defend yourself, Elsie." "Yes, Your Grace." She was, "Excuse me for a moment." She like walks across the hall and like gets her short sword and like, her little long knife, and it's not little, it's a substantial thing, and like brings it so that it's on at the table with you, and she says, "I'm sorry I didn't have my blade with me, Miss Janos."
Dina has some complicated thoughts about this. More so than I thought she would. She looks
That's
to
interesting.
Elsie. Yeah, she looks to. When you first mentioned it, I didn't really think anything of it, but when you just described it, this reminded me of Bina very much of being completely defenseless around Fiona Cecile.
Yeah.
And when she sits back down, Bina always has a little knife under her like belt, like it's just like a worker's knife, but
Yeah.
like. And when she sits back down, she doesn't like but she like pulls it out and holds it up, not pointing it really at her, but like holds it up, and she's like, she's not completely wrong. You could be in danger here at any time. The prowess of the Elven Rangers is worth the legends that are spoken of. and she puts the knife down. Like she doesn't mean it as a threat at all, but it's just
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. Yeah, she doesn't
it's
take it
like
as that. I think like the lesson the Duchess was trying to take was kind of like chiding and it didn't really sink in, but like you saying that with one eye,
yeah.
like I think she like is trying not to look at that side of your face. And um I think Archibald walks into the feast hall at that point.
Mm, cool.
He says and he has like something uh kind of wrapped in a cloth.
Hmm. I think
And
I
he says,
greet him like I'm practicing.
yeah,
I greet him like overly formally because I'm practicing with what Elise just told me, what Elsie
yeah,
just told
yeah,
me, sorry.
yeah,
So um and I think I say like, your Lord Archibald, and I say, and then I like kind of look up, I'm like, I'm practicing. I like to explain, like I know he is not of this high station, but I kind of just like
yeah,
do this pretend.
yeah. I think
uh,
like Elsie laughs and she says, uh, congratulations, Sir Archibald. You have been elevated by Miss Janos's welcome as a landed knight. And he like I think he looks pretty uncomfortable in
yeah,
general
yeah,
when he's in the tower, and now he's like super uncomfortable.
right,
And
right,
he
right.
just like puts the like he's got like something wrapped up, and he puts it on the table, and he says, uh, "There you go. Uh, have a good day." And like
Thank,
he like
yeah,
nods to Elsie, not knowing who the hell she is, or knowing only that she's like she's clearly above him in station,
right.
and and he like leaves
The
the
parcel.
nice patch, yeah,
Yeah,
there for
yeah,
you.
yeah. And I thank him. I say thank you, Archie. Um,
Hmm.
um, and I think, how do yeah, I'm trying to figure out a way to be like, Deke thanks you too, but I don't really have a way to articulate it. So
Yeah,
I just thank him.
cool,
Yeah, I think I
cool,
pick it
cool.
up from the table and bring it back over to sit by Elsie, and I say, do you want to see uh, a present?
Yes. Who was that man? Is he the?
My brother-in-law.
Oh, okay. It's nice of him to bring you a gift.
I asked him for it, but it's still a nice gift. And I say I might need your help actually, and I open it up and look at the
Yeah, and I think it's the like because you sent me a picture of what you'd like her to have,
yeah.
and I think it's that it's the eye patch, it's a leather crafted eye patch, to your face, like molded, and it's got the five spoked burning wheel on it.
Oh my god, that's so cool! Thank you.
He like
I was
burned it
like,
in.
do I have to go on this quest to get the?
No. I think
That is
Archie,
so rad.
you shamed him into it. He is totally ashamed of how he acted.
I'm going to share it in chat. This is a this is an eye patch that I found that had crosshairs on it, and with just a little photoshopping, it's a good burning wheel.
Oh,
Um,
nice. I didn't realize how
so
you'd done it. That's good.
yeah. It was just, it was like it was already 4/5 of the way there. So yeah,
Cool.
did spend a little time with like the blurring to get it all just right. But yeah, awesome. That's fantastic. Um, yeah, so I asked Elsie to like help me fit it and put it on, and I'm like,
Yeah, she does. She says, yeah, I think she like encourages you to like put your like put get like move your hair around
right.
and make it look nice. And she says, Miss Janos, that looks very nice. Father Alvaro will be very pleased.
I don't think there's like a ton of mirrors in here, but there's at least a few. So Bina has seen herself
Yeah.
a handful of times, and she's like, I didn't expect to ever look very nice again. This was a very, very messy wound when it first happened.
Would you mind fetching my warmer cloak in the Lord's room? It's hanging on the mirror.
Um, of course, like she's a servant, so she still just like defaults into that like this person who is a noble or of a noble caste is asking me to do a servant task. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, and I think like I don't know, how far are you on the errand before you realize that she like sent you up to look in the mirror?
Oh, I mean like yeah, like it doesn't even occur to her until she gets there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Um yeah, I think she sort of marvels at herself for a little while.
Cool.
You know, she's used to, since this wound happened, she's had like this monstrous bandage on her face, and like most of her face has been sort of concealed. And she didn't see what it looked like yesterday when she put on the patch because they don't have a mirror at home. So this is, I think, the first time she's seeing herself without this sort of bloody mess, without all these bandages. Um, yeah, and I think it's delight to like having one eye is her life now, and that's cool. But like the healing, it feels like it's like the wound itself. It's still going to affect her, I think, but like she feels like making it's like she's able to make it a part of her more. I think like this is now part of who she is rather than something that happened to her. And or she's getting there, you know. I don't know if it's instantaneous like that, but yeah. So yeah, I think she kind of enjoys, she sort of plays with patch and you know, and runs her fingers over the etching of the wheel.
Nice. Cool. I think that's a good place to end. I feel like that's a good like.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
And I think we'll like think about your beliefs over the next week.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's really anything you'll need to change.
Yeah, I mean everything changed when I arrived in Karakagi, but I think these are pretty solid.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go through them.
What's also interesting is the way you phrased your second belief is like, so it's kind of smart, right? Because you didn't say I'll convince the Elven Etharch to call off the war, right? You said I'll talk to her.
Yeah.
So you get the persona as soon as you talk to her. Yeah. But what's cool is if you manage to convince her, you're really set up to get a deeds point.
It would be pretty epic.
I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen, but
I don't know if it's going to happen either.
But I think it's interesting that like you're poised. I think it's one of the that's interesting.
Yeah. So.
Oh, and you'll need a new third belief, right? Because you got the bandage.
Yeah.
You got the patch.
So first one is Varus has a beautiful voice that may sway the elves. I'll bring her with me on the envoy. I think that's fate. I think I worked with both Varus and Father Alvaro to try and make that happen, but I don't think I cemented it.
Yeah. Agreed.
Duchess Botan convinced me to stay in Karakagi. I'll ensure the safety by speaking to the Elven others. Feels like another fate as well. Like I convinced her to let me come. That was a big deal. It was a big old and time for bandage is over. I'll find it.
Persona.
Make a patch. Yeah, persona. Take that.
Cool.
Whenever in the presence of nobility, listen carefully. Know that instinct Well, actually, hold on. I am going to take a fate for that because I did listen carefully and it completely changed two of my beliefs. Or I'm going
Yeah,
to ask for a fate for that because
yeah,
I was like, oh, um, you know, it didn't
yeah,
get me in trouble, but it like I did listen and she moved me. Yeah.
yeah.
In a way that Sean truly did not expect it. I was not
In a way
expecting
that
her to
Judd didn't
say
expect.
anything.
I did not set that up to have that happen. Like I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna move. Like not that I ever like I'm gonna move Sean, but but
I mean, you got the jujitsu skills. I'm sure if you
I mean,
wanted to.
I'm sure I could physically move you easier than I could like uh,
But
what's
you
that that line like he's got the power to move you.
yes, well
Yes.
you did.
That's awesome.
Uh
That's total bonus. I've definitely had a couple of times where I've had duels of wits where one of the players is like, I'm convinced,
yeah,
I'm losing this. So anyway, but yeah, that was cool. I was really cool. It was a nice. It was a. It, I love when that happens. So that's great.
it's yeah. It I think it's really cool. It just in the way that it pivoted things
Yeah,
and in a fun way that I'm excited about. Always keep Nara in my sight. Yeah, I think this has also made things more interesting by bringing Nara to Archibald and by having her there. Well, no, it didn't. She came with me to do something I was already going to do. She didn't
yeah,
instigate a different conversation. So that's fine.
right. Yeah, yeah,
I did learn. We built some lore out of it, which is cool. But I don't need a
yeah.
fake for that.
Nope,
It
I don't think
was.
so.
I think it was cool. I am going to try and bring her with me to speak with the elves.
Oh my God!
Father Avaro also moved me there,
Wow.
so we'll see next time I speak with the Duchess if she's willing to let me bring an entourage. Um,
Holy shit.
because I have some thoughts now. So, anyhow, so yeah, I will say no. When faced with a rock lover, answer them honestly rather than smooth dates. I think I should. I feel like this was not only came up with Deke, but not only came up with Archibald, but then it followed through with Deke. And
Okay.
I feel like that
You take a
for
fate.
I think so. Is that
Yeah.
that sounds right to you?
Yeah, yeah. It does. It does. It totally does.
Okay, traits. Ambitious. Um, a lot of people were talking about her ambition in
Yeah.
a way that made her embarrassed.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know that I took.
I feel like it was an ambitious script. Like script and
that's
dismiss.
that's fair.
That was that was such a. I just think yes. I think
Okay, yeah,
yeah. I think
that's
you should get a fate for that.
that was a real like oh shit or shit, and then the fact that it worked and I rolled just so like yeah.
So many sixes.
Early riser, not a. It came in
Yeah, but it
to
didn't really
play,
send. Yeah.
didn't drive play.
No, not
A
particularly.
little fat, didn't drive play. Although you know, I think if I think about this a little more, I should probably have said that like Bina when she looks at herself in the mirror, she like also like appreciates her curves too.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, kind of like her dress is probably not very form fitting, but kind of like pushes it against herself to like you know see her curves and
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
you know appreciate her beauty. So
Awesome.
still not a fate, but good to remember.
Yeah.
One eye taken by a spiteful elf. I mean, I feel like I've dipped in this well many times, but it's been like such a like she
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
used that to make a point
Yeah.
to Elsie.
Yeah, I'm down with a fate for that.
Yeah. Uh,
And I feel like this was a mold breaker game.
yeah, I think so too.
I think you went like beyond the bounds. I feel
Yeah.
like
Well, and I changed. Well, yeah, I changed my beliefs substantively.
yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
All right. So that's gonna be one,
Persona.
two. Yeah. That's one
Yeah,
persona. So that's a total of two persona and one, two, three, four, six fate.
cool. You probably have
Um,
1,000 fate.
I do. I have 25 fate
Oh my god.
for Persona. Yeah, and I didn't. There was like one persuasion roll that I got a 6 on that I could have exploded, and I didn't, which I probably should because I would love to gray Persona. Um, or I'd love to gray Persuasion. Um, but I was just like, well, I hate it. I don't need. There was no benefit from exploding it. But like,
Yeah.
I could have spent one more fate, but that's it. Um, so it's cool. Persona is the real game changer, and
Yeah.
it is still very, very precious. Like I used to, and I gained 2 this session, so I'm good. I'm glad. I'm hanging on the razor's edge there.
Awesome.
This is so much fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'm really interested in. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I never know where I love your NPCs, Joe. I love that they are people with beliefs, and that they that they make me rethink what matters. What like
Right.
I come and saying like this is what I believe and this is true, and I'm constantly being like, but is it true in this case? Is it always
Yeah, yeah.
true? Is it still true now? Is it still what I believe? And I think Venus is a person who believes things strongly. I mean, she went on this ludicrous mission, but that doesn't mean that she is unyielding. It doesn't mean that she's like doesn't mean that she doesn't still grow and learn from people. And I feel
Right.
like you've just given me so many wonderful opportunities to show her growth as
Cool.
you know. So thank you.
Oh no, thank you. That's really great.
Anywho, I am as we're wrapping up. I'm Sean Nittner. I use he, him pronouns. I am going to be playing Scum and Villainy on Sunday. I'm excited about that. And as we talked about at the opening of the show, right now, if you have the ability to support Black Lives Matter, or I'm putting it in chat right now, or transgender legal, that'd be great. Thank you. We'd love that. And the money that we're getting from Twitch, which is not a ton, but I did just get a payment, and that's going to be going to Black Lives Matter as well.
Nice.
So.
And I just I did a weird thing. I wrote up an adventure for Trophy Gold, and I made a nice cover for it, but I haven't laid it all out yet. So it's still kind of a PDF that's really a Word doc. So I put it for sale on Itch for $1 with like the notation of like, this is a work in progress. As I lay it out and it gets edited and it gets play tested, I'll increase the price
smart. Nice.
as we go. And so Itch is awesome, and people have been buying it and like leaving tips. So I had like $55 in a PayPal, like weighing around. So I gave that into the Trans Legal Defense Fund as we were like, because it was, and like you all inspired me to do it, because I was like, man, I'm putting this link out. I've got that money. I haven't been sure what to do with it. This is clearly fate aligning. So thank you everybody for listening and being an inspiration for that. It's nice. And thank you, Lucian Khan, the writer of Visigoths and Molgoths, for posting that. Yeah, for posting that link and informing me and just being an all around awesome person.
Yeah, Lucian's pretty rad. Cool. Well, we will be back, I'm sure. Judd, did you want to say anything else about you?
Oh, yeah, I will also, I've got a podcast called Daydreaming About Dragons. So if you put that into the search terms, you'll probably find it. And you can also, I'll be back tomorrow night to play with Strash and Lauren and our friend Luke. We're playing the Necromancer and the Thief again. And it kind of is like a 2GM, 2-player game. It's pretty funky. I think we will be like leaning on chat very hard. We got a bunch of cool ideas from chat last game, so please join us. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome. That sounds really exciting. Is that Luke Jordan?
I think so.
Yeah. I'm guessing. Cool. Yay, wonderful. Well, lots of stuff happening on the channel. And Judd, I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll plan
And
another one in a couple weeks, probably.
yeah, and chat, thanks a lot. It's been great hanging out with you. I'll see you later.